All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling the absolute #1 excuse that keeps pretty much all of us from reaching our health goals. You know what it is: time. Or, well, the supposed lack of it. We're going to completely flip the script and explore how you can transform just 5 spare minutes into a complete, incredibly effective workout. Seriously, whether you're stuck at your desk, chilling in your living room, or just rolling out of bed, I'm going to show you how to build a fitness menu that actually works on your schedule. Okay, let's dive right in.
So I want you to ask yourself honestly, do you have 5 minutes to spare in your busy day? Think about it. Maybe between back-to-back meetings, or while you're literally just waiting for the coffee to brew, or right before you hop in the shower. According to some really fascinating recent findings published in Science Daily, this whole idea that building muscle or getting fit requires these intense, drawn-out, hour-long gym sessions, it's completely outdated. You absolutely do not need a massive block of free time to start seeing real physical changes.
And this quote right here brilliantly captures our whole thesis for today. It's from certified personal trainer Ashley Rios over at Fit and Well. She says, something is always better than nothing, no matter what. It hits the nail on the head, right? It completely busts that old myth that you need fancy, specialized equipment or a long commute to a crowded gym to see results. Just doing a 5-minute workout is actually an incredible way to build stamina, especially if you're a beginner. It sets a baseline. It basically proves to your brain that, hey, you can in fact show up for yourself today.
So, here's what's on today's menu. 1. The 5-minute fitness truth. 2. Quick desk relief exercises. 3. Fast cardio and strength. 4. The 6-minute ab burner. 5. Flexibility and yoga flows. And finally, 6. Build your workout habit. Just think of this explainer as a literal menu where you can just pick and choose the exact routine that fits whatever you need right now.
Starting off with Section 1, the 5-minute fitness truth. Micro-workouts actually work.
Let's look at why these micro-workouts are so effective, and why they honestly might just be the secret weapon you've been missing. Look, the hard truth is that our bodies just weren't designed to be folded up like a pretzel in a desk chair for 8 hours a day. When we sit for that long, our blood circulation slows way down, our muscles get incredibly tense, and our energy just completely tanks. But an analysis from the workplace ergonomics experts at Gymbo points out something awesome. Just 5 minutes of movement acts like a physiological circuit breaker. Literally, just 5 minutes. It pumps fresh blood and oxygen straight to your brain and muscles. It releases those feel-good hormones, the endorphins, and, this is absolutely crucial, it resets your posture. These tiny, consistent actions, they compound over time, leading to massive improvements in how you feel and how you perform.
Moving on to Section 2, quick desk relief exercises. Let's talk about the midday desk reset.
If you're constantly fighting that dreaded midday slump from being glued to your chair, you're not alone. Gymbo's analysis highlights that we usually avoid doing desk exercises because of a few really common psychological barriers. For example, if you're feeling self-conscious in the office, the solution is simple. Just focus on subtle movements that look like you're naturally stretching. No one will even notice. Keep forgetting? Let technology do the work. Set a gentle phone or computer reminder. If you're just lacking the motivation, try partnering up with a coworker or literally blocking it out on your calendar like it's a very important meeting. And if your excuse is that you're too busy, well, identify exercises you can do while you're just sitting there on a phone call. Remember, 30 seconds is infinitely better than 0.
All right, here is your 5-minute desk mobility menu. Start at your core with a seated spinal twist. You just take your right hand, place it on your left knee, and give yourself a gentle twist to relieve all that lower back tension. Then move up to some shoulder rolls, forward and backward, just to release that tight upper back. Next, wake up the lower body with some ankle circles. This gets the circulation flowing right down to your toes. After that, focus on your extremities. Wrist stretches are an absolute game changer for preventing carpal tunnel if you're typing all day. And neck tilts will help relieve that forward head screen strain we all get. Finally, if you've got a second of privacy, fire up those legs with some chair squats. Literally, just stand up and sit down 10 to 15 times without fully resting your weight on the chair. Easy, right?
Let's jump into Section 3, fast cardio and strength. This is your no-gym sweat session.
We're definitely ramping up the energy here, and we're going to prove that you can get a phenomenal full-body workout right in your living room with zero, and I mean zero, equipment. In Rachel Bauca's Minimalist Home Workout Plan, she shows how you can perform a highly effective hip thrust using literally nothing but your couch. So you place your feet shoulder-width apart on the floor, rest your upper back on the edge of the couch, and hinge at the hips. By driving through your heels and really squeezing your glutes to bring those hips up toward the ceiling, you are building serious lower body strength. And the best part? You didn't even have to step foot near a squat rack. Now, if you want some dynamic cardio, you've got to try sprinter pulls. You start down in a low lunge position with your hands touching the floor, and then you just explode upward. You bring that back foot forward into the air, driving your knee up exactly like your mid-run. Make sure you swing your arms to really help with the momentum. Let me tell you, doing just 8 of these on each leg will absolutely spike your heart rate, and you're doing the whole shebang in a completely stationary spot in your home.
You can also mix things up with some dynamic lunge variations. You might step back and add a twist to really engage the core, or if you want to push the intensity through the roof, try jump switch lunges. That's where you explode into the air and switch your lead leg before you even land. As the trainers over at HasFit point out in their routines, when you only have 5 minutes to work with, you honestly don't even need to count reps. Just move at a pace that feels challenging to you, pushing yourself continuously to heavily engage those quads, hamstrings, and glutes.
Section 4. The 6-minute ab burner. Prepare for some brutal bottom-up core strength.
So we're shifting our focus strictly to the core now for a slightly longer, brutally efficient 6-minute routine. The philosophy behind this comes directly from Athlean-X. Now, here's a fun fact. The rectus abdominis is actually a single muscle group. That means you technically cannot isolate just the lower abs. However, and this is a big however, you can make exercise choices that preferentially activate that specific area. And the absolute best way to do that? Bottom-up and rotational movements. These are inherently way more difficult because, let's face it, our lower abs tend to be weaker, and you are literally lifting the dead weight of your own legs toward your core.
Okay, here is the exact 6-minute menu you are definitely going to want to screenshot so you can take on this challenge later. You're going to power from figure 8s for 30 seconds, straight into hands-back raisers for a minute, and then right into twisted pistons for another minute. After that, you'll tackle seated ab circles clockwise and then counterclockwise for a full minute each. And finally, you just got to push through the burn to the finish line with 30 seconds of scissor V-ups and 30 seconds of the 21 crunch. It is continuous, and trust me, it is intense. But the source material notes something super important here. If you have to stop and rest a few times along the way, that is completely fine. Don't sweat it. Just use that as a measuring stick for your progress. Keep working on this routine until you don't have to stop for rest at all.
Moving on to Section 5, Flexibility and Yoga Flows. We're using 5 minutes to melt away that stiffness.
Let's bring the pacing down for a second to a nice, calm, restorative speed. If you've been lifting heavy, running, or honestly just dealing with the daily stress of life, this specific menu is designed to open up those tight muscles. According to the experts at HealthShots, flexibility isn't a prerequisite for doing yoga. It's the result of it. You can flow through this beautiful sequence in just 5 minutes. You start with the cat/cow pose on your hands and knees, dropping your belly to lift your chest, and then rounding your back to really warm up the spine. From there, push back into downward-facing dog, creating an inverted V shape to stretch out your hamstrings, calves, and back muscles. Finally, you'll transition into half pigeon pose by bringing one knee forward behind your wrist. This is an incredibly deep stretch for those tight hip flexors and glutes. It's just this really fluid sequence that strings together perfectly to relieve backaches and restore your natural range of motion.
And finally, Section 6, build your workout habit, because it's all about consistency over perfection.
Look, none of these amazing physical exercises really matter if they don't connect back to your daily lifestyle choices. It really is all about consistency over perfection. To sustain these rapid routines and avoid things like the infamous Quarantine 15, you've got to have supportive habits. The Home Workout Plan source provides some fantastic, rapid-fire rules to live by. First, track what you're eating with an app to make yourself conscious of all that mindless snacking. Next, and this is a huge rule, do not bring food to the couch with you. Mindless eating while zoning out in front of the TV is a massive driver of unwanted weight gain. You might also want to try an 8-hour intermittent fasting window. And my personal absolute favorite tip, for every single TV show you watch, commit to doing just 1 minute of exercise. Do some jumping jacks or push-ups during the intro. It ties a healthy new habit directly to something you already enjoyed doing.
So as you'll see, you really don't need a gym membership, a ton of fancy equipment, or even an hour of free time to make a massive, life-changing impact on your health. Whether you choose a seated twist at your desk, hip thrusts on your living room couch, a brutal 6-minute ab burner, or a restorative downward dog, the menu is literally right in front of you. The science is absolutely clear. Micro-workouts work. So I'm going to leave you with this somewhat provocative question to ponder today. What will you do with your next 5 minutes? Are you going to scroll aimlessly on social media, or are you going to invest that time back into yourself? The choice is entirely